will be auctioned off next month. It's expected to sell for as much as $1 million in upstate New York. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
From the Kcaa Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 99. Light and variable wind out of the north at 10 to 15. And gusts as high as 20 expected. Clear tonight with a low of 64. Northeast wind at 5 to 10, becoming west. For Saturday, it'll be sunny. High near 100. Light west wind increasing to 20 miles per hour and gusts as high as 30. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. 3 and 1, the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
As the nation mourns, KCAA is with you. KCAA, 1050 AM Loma Linda, Redlands, and San Bernardino, 106.5 FM Yucaipa, and 102.3 FM Riverside, Moreno Valley, wishes to express, from our family to yours, our sincerest condolences to the families and friends of those who lost a loved one in the horrible tragedy in Las Vegas. We also wish a speedy recovery to the hundreds injured. KCAA, your local NBC News, Finance, and Sports affiliate, standing strong together, united in courage and hope.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Welcome, everybody, to the Psychic Love Doctor Show, the show where every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we delve deep into your life and what makes you tick and what's happening in your world. I'm delighted to say that Lisa with an E, she's my adorable co-host, is sitting in. And tonight we have something special for you. We have Dawn, a Reiki master, who is going to offer Reiki over distance, correct? Mm-hmm. As callers come to us for guidance and psychic info tonight. So Dawn, let's give our folks a little bit of something about you. You've been in the business for a couple years.
Yes.
So, well, if you don't know what Reiki is, it's energetic healing. It balances the body, it balances the mind, can relax you, calm you, make you better. So you can do it distance, you can do it in person, and it's just a really wonderful way to help other people.
It
So
really
it's just,
seems to have a wonderful application when it comes to, like, say, long-term or life-threatening illness.
yes,
So
definitely, yes.
and it seems like more people are really getting into this these days. So I'm very happy that you're here with us,
Thank
Dawn.
you.
And I know you have a lot of great insights and also opinions. We will help you folks if you've got a love relationship dilemma, if you are sick of your job and you'd like to walk a yellow brick road to your correct career for this life that we're living, please, we can check this all out for you. Lisa
Yes.
has got a little something to start us off with tonight. It's called Autumn Dating Buzzwords.
Yes, this was just brought to my attention today, as a matter of fact. On our last show, we were talking about the horrors of ghosting and how appropriate for our spooky month of Halloween. But there were several terms out there, and one that really kind of hit me a little bit was zombieing.
Ooh, now what would zombieing be?
Zombieing. So zombieing is when you've already been ghosted. So that ship has sailed, and the other person has left the relationship like a spineless jellyfish that he or she is, and you've been ghosted. But then you post something on social media, and guess what? He who has vanished will return with a little like or a little comment, little Instagram, little tweet, just kind of like hanging out in the fringes there. That is zombieing.
Don't you think, in a way, though, Lisa, this is their way of, say, offering some sort of reconnection invitation to you, that if they're, tiptoeing around on your Facebook page or your Instagram and putting a little something, isn't it saying, I really kind of miss you?
Okay. So the way to do that is to be adulting. I know it's hard sometimes. Just be an adult and use your words and say, hey, been thinking about you, missed you. But this whole nonsense of tiptoeing around, first of all, ghosting just gets my goat to begin with. And then to kind of try to sneak back in, kind of through the back door, so to speak, and like, poke, 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 hi, how you doing? No. Use your words, be an adult. That's ridiculous.
That's a 5-letter bad word.
That's Daryl in the background. He's running the technology for us here tonight. Daryl has us on Facebook Live at the same time as we are coming to you through Kcaa. So if you'd like to look us up, you can always get a question in for the show through Facebook Live. You'd look for the Psychic Love Doctor Show. Lisa, incidentally, is a credentialed therapist. She's also one of the funniest and most beautiful people I know.
Oh, use all the Twitter with that. Why, thank you.
And Dawn also is not, she's certainly not, well, I wanted to say something that was going to be completely inappropriate, so we won't go there.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock.
So grab a beverage, everyone.
Yes.
Unless you're driving, of course, we understand you can only sip your water or your coffee or your tea. But let's get some calls coming in as we go through more autumn dating buzzwords. I think to get us kicked off here, why don't we give a free phone reading to our first brave soul who wants to break the ice for us and get on the air with their question. And remember, you don't have to use your real name. You can certainly make one up. The cards they will be able to understand that you are using a disguise tonight.
That's my favorite. So what I always like to say to all of our friends out there on this Friday afternoon and early evening, if you have plans to go out tonight, or you've just met somebody maybe online and you're getting ready for that first date, you need to call us and give us the scoop, and we will look into the cards, and Deborah Lee will give you the complete insight on, one, how that date's going to go, and two, if it might be primed for a second date or not.
Or if you're going out tonight in general and wonder if you might meet somebody really special. The cards can really guide us in a lot of ways pertaining to relationships. Co-workers can be a real snag in terms of happiness when you don't really understand what's going on with them. The cards will zero in on whatever the issue may be with somebody in the office that you're just not able to read correctly. Also, our kids, oh boy, was I ever able to keep track of my sons especially while they were in their teen years. They were scared of Mama's cards. Mama knew the real deal all the time. So there's many, many ways that we can use readings. We can even spy. Lisa's favorite.
Oh, psychic spying!
Yes, where we can actually look at the cards of somebody important to your life, and we'll find out what makes them tick.
That's my favorite, absolute favorite.
So the phone number for call-ins?
Yes, to call in and chat with us, just a little intimate conversation tonight, is area code 909-792-5222. So we just want to hear from you. 909-792-5222. And you have 3 lovely ladies to chat with tonight. It's just girl talk. No one will know that it's just you and us and chatting away and gaining some insight. Talking about duck boys and zombies and ghosts. It's all good.
For those of you that might be joining us for the first time tonight, this is a method of using ordinary playing cards that my grandmother taught me about 35 years ago now. She called it personal prophecy. My grandmother Ruth was really astute, and nobody really understood where all of her insights and her ability to, this woman could call the shots like you would not believe. And it turned out she was reading these playing cards. So she passed it on to me and passed away herself about 2 years after she taught me, which at that point then I turned all of my spare time into furthering the principles, the foundation of what she taught me. I furthered it, and I actually wrote a book about it, and it contains all the information that you would need if you want to study personal prophecy. And the name of the book, by the way, is The Message, Your Secrets in the Cards, but we're not going to commercialize any of that. You'll be able to find it if you'd like to on any online bookstores.
That's how I bought your book. Secret. That's what I did.
Now, you should give us another one of your autumn dating buzzwords.
Autumn dating buzzwords. So another one that stuck out, that actually a client of mine, I shared this great meme with her today because she's been going through some boy drama. And I said, hey, saw this, thought of you, wanted to share. And she's like, oh my gosh, I was so breadcrumbed.
Breadcrumb. All right.
Breadcrumbing. So this is where there is lots of communication via text, those daily texts, those morning check-ins, how you doing, thinking of you. But you know what? There's never really any in-person communication or interaction. And they're very, very complimentary, but plans just never get made. Have you ever had that happen? Like, I really haven't, because I don't put up with that. If someone's like dialoguing with me and we're chatting all the time, well, then I'm going to make plans to like meet in person. But I know that happens a lot.
Well, and I think you have to take into consideration when you're dealing with the internet, you may be talking to somebody who's over there in Yugoslavia or Australia. And while we are here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that's not a hop, skip, and a jump for anybody to come and meet you. But you could get on Skype, I suppose, where you can see each other, do AOL video chat, which I'm pretty much in love with. And if somebody shies away from wanting to do a video chat session with you, they are telling you something. I feel that they are not being authentic. That maybe what has been projected as like a George Clooney / Justin Timberlake, you name it, kind of man, might actually be a short little bald guy who just wants to have a little fun in his life. So now, Dawn, what do you think about that? About folks, like Lisa was saying about breadcrumbing, but also
I was breadcrumbed in person, actually.
Oh,
yes.
Do tell.
I was.
Hey,
She
now.
seemed very interested, kept showing up, talking to me, and then nothing. And I think a lot of times women do read into things, maybe that, aren't intended. Oh, it's a sign. He said this, he said that, he did this, he did that. I do think that can be a thing. So it's hard for women when men do that.
And why don't men just be honest.
Exactly.
If you're not his cup of tea, just, say, hey, it's been great meeting you.
Sometimes I think they kind of hang, maybe I'm interested, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to keep you hanging on a little bit until I'm sure.
Oh, wait, that's the buzzword. I know I've heard that before.
All right.
That's kind of like benching. So like they agree to a date and then they kind of reschedule because there's other players on the field, but they want to keep someone keeping that bench a little warm, so they've got to go to a backup.
Oh, and let's admit it, ladies, we women are notorious at holding out for a better offer.
Yes.
But we'll keep, Poindexter over here just in case, so we can at least get out and maybe do some dancing and get some free dinner and free drinks.
Oh, phone line's gonna be blowing up now. 909-792-5222. I have a big, gigantic, fancy Nancy word for you, and this I think speaks to so many of my single female friends. This is, I'm gonna mess this up. Amatonoformativity. Oh, thank you. There you go. This is the assumption that all singletons want to be in a monogamous relationship and that they would be better off in one. I really do not necessarily agree with that. Not everyone who's single wants to be matched up in an exclusive.
But have you ever noticed that a lot of times your matched up or married friends won't invite singles to their parties or their events? What is up with that?
Because they're afraid you're going to either their male partners are uneasy around you because you might lure them to the dark side of singleton, or I mean it's true, or the female's like, I don't want you around because you're single and my man might look at you. That's my opinion.
Oh, that is such a bunch of insecurity. Come on, in this day and age. Seriously.
I don't mind being the third wheel. Absolutely don't.
Me
or the fifth.
I
don't matter.
Being the third wheel.
I'm not often invited to those sorts of events as a singleton.
Yeah, it's too bad. They're missing out on some really good energy to bring to their parties.
Some entertainment, some glass raising. It's your loss. That's how I see it. 909-792-5222. I know that you just had this question inside of you burning to be answered by Deborah Lee, the Psychic Love Doctor. So please call in and have a talk with us.
And Dawn is going to offer, during your call, free distance Reiki healing towards you. So if you do have tonight, let's say a bit of a broken heart, or
not feeling well physically.
Right?
Yeah.
Feeling depressed. For some of us, speaking of singletons, we're facing a 3-day holiday weekend for many of us.
Yeah, I'm working.
And if, they say Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week, but I tend to think when you are really, really that single, every night can be the loneliest night of the week. So come on.
I would say, I'm going to just interject there, it's only the loneliness night of the week if you are feeling lonely. Being alone is not a bad thing.
That's right.
If that's what your focus is on, is, oh, woe is me, I'm all by myself, well, then that's what your experience is going to be. But a lot of people like, haha, yay, I'm by myself. I can have popcorn and like a soda and lay on the sofa reading People magazine because I can.
And not feel the least bit guilty? Or...
There you go.
No shame, people.
That's
no
a healthy
shame.
dinner, too. I'm just going to say.
Dawn, you have a question from someone you wanted to bring to the show tonight.
My sister-in-law.
Okay.
Has been trying really hard to get a job, and she's having a hard time and not able to figure out why the interviews aren't coming to fruition for her. She's,
Is she getting interviews?
She's getting the interviews, and then it's not happening.
Do you think she may not, and I'll look in the cards to see here, but could she possibly be interviewing badly?
Possibly.
Okay.
We talk about it and we try to, we coach her and, everything, but she's just getting really disappointed, starting to feel bad about herself.
So this is a great example of the personal prophecy method. When you call the Psychic Love Doctor, you don't necessarily need to call in with a love question, even though love is shared between partners and family members and children. But you can also call about career-related questions, dynamics within the career field, a move is coming up, a career change. So don't feel like you should be locked in to any issues just kind of surrounding the relationship aspect of your life.
Exactly. And Lisa, I'd like to interject here something you've brought to my attention, where the cards do contain a certain energy, that it is if, as we are conducting these readings, it's as if we are manifesting what we desire for the future. and we're sending that out. And I do really feel that, and thank you for you bringing that to my attention, because I always considered it to simply be that these are pieces of plastic, they hold no power, they have no energy, it's all coming from within. But when you talk about them containing and holding this type of energy, why not? I mean, life can be what we want it to be. We can create our own reality. So, speaking of realities, for your sister-in-law, I am going to tell you right now that she should consider herself very lucky she didn't get any of those previous jobs. She would not have liked them. They were not presented well. They were not, some of these places are highly disorganized, or the workforce is constantly at odds, backstabbing, backbiting. And she would have become very disenchanted with her own career in the process. There is a designation in the personal prophecy layout that is called sure to come true. And here it is for her. The plum of a job that is going to be just so sweet and so perfect for her is coming. I feel if not way sooner, I'm going to say the end of the year. Sometimes I like to put a 3-month time span on things. Number one, the number one indicates and characterizes unity. Number two characterizes yin yang, opposite.
I think of also duality when you say
duality. But the number 3 is creation, where from out of 2 comes 3. Think of it as like mommy and daddy and a baby. And the baby's going to be her career. That's coming to her in a fabulous job, but she really should just let go. It isn't about her. It's about the workplaces that she was knocking on the door were not going to be good jobs for her. This is another wonderful and highly dynamic aspect to personal prophecy readings. We can perceive our future and empower ourselves by changing it. We don't have to accept what life may dole out to us. We are literally the masters of our own destiny. So if she had been getting readings all along, she'd have seen that, oh, this job interview is not going to be where I should go. And she could even decide not to waste her time on going to those interviews that were not going to be fruitful.
And make her feel terrible about herself.
Right. And she needs to stop doing that, because this woman I see has excellent skills. She's highly gifted. She is really a strong, and I mean strong in the sense of being dynamic and strength in the workplace. She's got much to bring to the working arena in which she wants to work. And I see her ultimately ending up working with 2 men as not as bosses so much as partners, and they are going to want to actually groom her and provide her with quite a bit of income. Income is always good.
Income. Area code is 909-792-5222 for you to call up to Kcaa Radio, where you are listening live to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with Deborah Lee, Lisa with an E, and our special Reiki Master guest, Dawn.
Yes, and also, Daryl, are you getting any requests from the Peanut Gallery on Facebook Live? Not yet. Everybody's just...
They're kind of being quiet, saying hello.
Well, hello. Okay. Oh, we do have an audience member with you tonight, but I'm going to target one right now. It's always so great to be part of the audience here and the Psychic Love Doctor Show, because you just never know when we're going to call on you to give you a free reading. Do you have a question for the Psychic Love Doctor?
I do actually.
He does.
I was wondering if I had this job opportunity come up, and it wasn't going to work for me, but then I offered a proposition to have me and my brother work for this man, and he got back to me, but he said he wasn't going to be able to know until November. I was just wondering if it would be a thing or not.
If this would work out for your brother, is that
No, for me.
Like
for
a
you?
job share situation.
Job sharing with your, okay, love, let's take a look at that.
This is another great example of using the personal prophecy method. And I cannot stress enough that, yes, our favorite types of questions are love and romance and relationship and all that great stuff, but you can also ask your question on any topic. So our audience member is looking at possibly acquiring a job share situation in November, and he's asked Deborah Lee to pull the cards to see if that is going to come into fruition, if that's possible, kind of where the energy is around that right now. So that's always very interesting.
It's very well put.
And that's a little bit of insight too on what that boss man is thinking. So within a 24 card layout, she's going to be able to see not only the direct answer to the query, but she's also going to be able to pick up maybe other nuances that really weren't asked of her about the situation.
And here, this is kind of in it parallels your sister-in-law, Dawn, in the sense of, no, I don't think that you should, hit your wagon to this star. There's a lot more involved in this job sharing opportunity that is not positive for the two of you. So I would say, rather than sitting and just spinning your wheels, let it go. It's a problematic work environment. Another one and you know what? Maybe that's very prevalent in the world these days. That it's not the comfy, cozy work environment that it used to be years ago. It's highly competitive, very much of a kind of a dog-eat-dog atmosphere. You would not be happy. Now, of course, and this is for all of you to remember, just because the cards say this does not mean that, well, you're doomed. It just is indicating that there is no potential here for him to find happiness and work satisfaction through this opportunity. But there are better opportunities coming to you. And the thing that I know you want most to do in this world is coming, and it's going to put you on the road. And there's a female here, a Queen of Clubs, who I feel is coming to you first in friendship, but she's going to actually want to be a manager to you and manage a career for you and your brother within the music industry, which is where you really want to be. Yeah. So I would say this is actually a very positive reading in the sense that you don't need to go and waste your time working with this boss man. Isn't that what you call it?
Boss man.
Who just doesn't have his you-know-what together is what I'm seeing. Okay, and guess what? We have a caller.
You do. You have Joy from Riverside, California. Hi, Joy. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show.
Hi, how are you?
So great.
Yes,
Dude,
we're
I
doing
called a
fabulous.
couple weeks ago, right when you guys were closing, and I tried to call back. It was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, exactly. So I had to put a reminder on my phone. Call Lisa.
Oh, I'm so glad you did.
That's
Okay,
great. What is
so
your question?
I'm sorry?
What's your question tonight?
My question is, I have two of them. One is I've been on the outs with my sister for a while over stuff that happened, and I'm just wondering if we're ever going to get reconnected.
Okay. And what is your second question?
My second, and what about my love life, sister? Will I ever meet her?
Ah, there we go. So the first question is about on the outs with a sibling, which is not uncommon. Doesn't matter if you're 7 or 77, that can happen. And she'd like to know if there's a possible reconnection there. And of course, the love life question.
The love life.
So of course, Lisa here is a little bit curious about the love life part. And I'm curious if you are currently in a relationship or looking for one.
I'm not in one, and I haven't been in one for a while. I'm not necessarily out beating down doors or anything, but if one happens to come along, if anything positive in my future.
All right, anything positive? Are you like hanging out at Home Depot at night, or are you like on Tinder? Like, what's your method?
No, I'm not hanging out at Home Depot like ever. But I don't go to bars or anything like that. I go out with friends, but I'm not out actively looking. But I just wondered, since you guys are so good, if something might come up.
Joy, excuse me. Joy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you aware of what actually happened between you and your sister that has caused this great divide?
Yes.
And this is going to be a bit of a difficult situation because your sister just won't let go of her pain and anger over what happened.
Okay.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep chiseling away at that cement overcoat she's wearing, because
God, you hit it
for
right on
one
the
thing,
nail.
and I can relate this to my own life. I have a sister that wouldn't speak to me for, oh geez, it was going on 10 years.
That's a long time.
And yes, and it was a dumb thing. It was over it was
boy? Oh.
It was over a $35 car battery, but really it was over a boy, a guy.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So yes, but
Man.
it took quite some time for us to be able to patch that up, and she needs to let go. She's harboring all these. I want you, Dawn.
I'm tapping him. I'm tapping him right now.
Okay, Dawn is shooting out some Reiki.
Yeah, to your heart chakra. Trying to give you a little bit of love.
And can you give your sister a little something too? A little jolt there? A little lightning bolt?
Taser.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
So with my sister, it's still pretty tough. Yeah.
Well, just put love out there towards her. Try to love her, even the situation, because you're both learning something from it, and just let it go.
Okay.
You're feeling pretty good to me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn says you feel pretty good to her tonight.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what? You just even putting out the thought of wanting to have her back in your life, it's amazing what that kind of energy can really do.
Yeah, I do. I pray for her. And I'm sure she prays for me too. She's very active in the church and stuff. So, which is totally opposite of how she treats me. So there you go.
If she's active in the church, she should be living her faith right now.
No way, no kidding, sister.
You know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of also your love life, I want to tell you there's somebody here from the past that would really like to come back into your life. He's missed you for a very, very long time. But I'm not sure it would really be that good for you to have another time. What is it you always say about exes, Lisa? You have this.
I forget. But pretty much if you've got an ex, he's an ex for a reason. So you got to just nail that door shut, blow it up, burn the house down.
Nail it shut.
No,
okay.
Don't go there. No.
Yeah, I'm not seeing enough of an evolution to his emotions yet. And I think he left you with a very kind of a down, dark feeling. And this would not be the one that I would say is her partner. But I do see a really wonderful fella that you're going to meet. So I feel like I'm back in the 50s. Fella, what a nice fella. All right, let's call him a hottie. You got a hottie on his way to you, and he's all heart. And I feel that he's going to travel to where you live in California, but he's really looking for a place to relocate. And she will connect with him. A lot of times the best folks that we meet are the ones that are walking right by where we live, or they're, men in the grocery store don't know how to pick out fruit. And
I'll show them a couple cantaloupes.
They don't know how to size up their melon.
I'm sorry, Joy,
lady. What's that?
You're going to meet this swell fella just by chance is what it sounds like, because we're doing a throwback now to the 50s. And he does seem like he's all heart because he's a jack of hearts.
Yes, he is. And he's going to be just all for you. And I've got me a heart fellow here. And Lisa has one on the string or line. And I think that they can turn out to actually be excellent partners for us.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that one then.
Yay! We want you to call us back and let us know when you meet him, because we love that kind of talk.
We do.
I will do that.
We will help you to avoid the pitfalls and relationship.
Ghosting, zombieing, breadcrumbing, all that. Benching.
Okay, ladies.
All right,
we're there with you.
Thank
Joy.
you so much.
You're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is awesome. Makes me feel very good. Thanks a lot, Joy. And we will expect a full report from you very soon.
Yes, we would. So you want to be like Joy and call us at 909-792-5222. And boy, we will get right back to someone else after our little station break.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
And we're back. Psychic Love Doctor Show on KCAA Radio, coming at you live Friday afternoons on the West Coast and early evening on the East Coast. Sure, right before you get all dolled up and throw on that red lipstick and go out to a bar, hey, you got to call us and let us know what you're looking for so we can guide you on the right path.
Exactly. And boy, aren't you wired up for this evening?
Not that I am promoting any sort of beverage, but I might have had a white canned M drink earlier that gave me a little boost. So if you want to sponsor me, I will gladly drink your beverage on the air.
All right.
We were just chatting actually with Dawn, a Reiki master, who's saying that she's able to pick up physical issues that might be going on with our callers. So if you were also looking for some sort of physical healing, even emotional healing, I believe, she's the lady to talk to. So what were you picking up on with the last caller?
Stomach issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just felt a lot. Well, I feel for me when I'm connecting with someone, I'll feel my hands will start to almost hurt, you know, depending on what's going on. But, you know, that's where the sacral and solar plexus, that's where I was feeling in both of those areas. So sometimes it can be emotional because, you know, the chakras connect with emotional and physical. So usually I'll ask, is your stomach okay? Or, you know, because her heart felt good. But then when I got moved down to the stomach, I felt some.
And, you know, when we are in distress, like dealing with
it can
like a sister that
tie you up in knots.
It can, very much so. And your digestive system is going to be right there to, get very upset and disturbed over what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And when you talk about the sacral and the solar plexus, emotional body would tell me that the sacral, you're dealing with issues related to sexuality or inner child work, and then your solar plexus, of course, areas of achievement and success. So it could have been some sort of dynamic between her as children and then the achievement of that. All right, we've got Karen from Massachusetts. Well, hello.
Karen.
Hello.
Glad you joined us.
Hi, I actually have a question. It's actually for my former sister-in-law. She, she lost the place she worked for 25 years closed down. They knew it was coming, but it was kind of abrupt. And do you see her finding something, like soon? Well, it was kind of happened like her mother-in-law. Her mother died, my mother-in-law, and then she went back to work, and her job ended after 25 years. So it was kind of a big thing.
It's a lot of adjustments.
Yeah.
To have to handle.
That's like being blindsided, too, after 25 years of being in your job. Is she in a field where she can kind of move laterally or find another similar type of job? Or is it more of specialized where finding another job just like that is just almost impossible?
Well, it's kind of like specialized, but I'm sure it's possible.
Because it feels like to me, and Deborah's laying out the cards for you right now, I'm feeling almost like a lateral move. Like I don't see her taking something less than or something different than or something completely different. To me, it's more of a lateral shift. So I'm curious what the cards have to say.
Well, first of all, I'm perceiving that she is really having taken this very much to heart. And it's a grieving process that I'm seeing. And there's a lot of turbulent emotions of being really regretful to have lost something that she enjoyed so much. And yet, on the other hand, being irritated and angry to have the rug pulled out from underneath you. But here's the thing. 25 years is basically its own...
it's like an era.
It is. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Because... I just love how they help me finish my sentences here, because I was trying to find the word that would explain that 25 years is an era. And what is actually happening for her is a brand new life is going to open up for her on the professional level and also emotionally. I mean, there are wonderful days ahead for her. Now, you, Lisa, as a professional therapist, and you see people for all sorts of reasons. If this young lady came into your office, what would be your approach with her?
First, it would be the steps of validation and affirmation. This is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling this way. And just having that sounding board, because it is something that you can't really, you'd never plan for, you don't expect. So you've been kind of punched in the gut, so to speak. So it's there. And then it's kind of reframing your mindset and setting a goal. Where do you want to go and how are we going to get there? So it's taking a very direct, very action-oriented approach.
And Dawn, now in your practice as a Reiki master, what are you picking up here?
Usually when I'll place my hands over the third eye chakra and the crown chakra, which is I'm doing distance-wise, almost immediately I felt upset. So she's very upset. And that's usually, and I'll say, is everything okay? And usually people tell me no if I'm feeling quite a bit. So I know she's upset right now and it's hard, but if she can just work her way through it, maybe there's someone she can talk to.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too, that it wouldn't hurt for her to get some guidance and, you know, see somebody professionally, just to have that individual to vent to, if nothing else. You must get a lot of angry folks that come in. Yeah.
Sometimes those walls will rattle, but it's great. It's a release.
And the thing is, for her, I'm perceiving it to have taken the shape of like a very abrupt divorce. Like a husband that just up and bolts on you.
Looks like a death.
It is, very much so. But there is a silver lining to this dark cloud. I am definitely seeing that a fantastic job offer is coming for her. But you know what? Let's let it come in its own way in time. If she has the means to not have to start pounding the pavement, you know, breathlessly because, oh my God, she's got to have a job. If she could take it a little bit slowly, take a deep breath, give herself time, this job is going to just materialize in front of her. And she's going to love it. It's got a very lighthearted kind of a, like a party spirit around it. This is like a dream workplace. Lots of new friends for her. It'll be a whole change of scenery. It's going to be awesome, and it's coming when she doesn't expect it. When you know how that feeling you get when you least expect something wonderful, and boom, there it is. So that's what I feel for her. But I think these ladies are right. She needs to work through her grief right now and take care of herself. This is a lot of loss of the mother, and you know, the loss of the job. But I am very hopeful that something will turn around for her, and I'm seeing it like around the Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh, that's
yeah. So it's very soon for her. Yeah. So try to keep lifting her up. Be inspirational as much as you can, and we will keep a space for her too.
Right. Yeah.
We will. Okay, we will keep her in our thoughts and hope we hear from you again soon. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Next, we have Peggy from Oklahoma. Hi, Peggy.
Hey, how are y'all doing tonight?
Oh, you're so fabulous. So glad you called. We're even better now, Oklahoma.
Yes, I've talked to you a couple
question?
times. There's kind of like two questions. Do you see me getting out of my financial situation anytime soon? And am I going to ever meet somebody so I can have a good relationship again?
I'm seeing a theme this evening. The theme is playing out. So Peggy's sneaking in two questions in one call, and we love you for that because you're so smart. She's looking for some financial relief, and where is that handsome knight
shining armor.
riding on a white horse? There's a unicorn riding on a white unicorn into my life.
She deserves one too because she's been dealing with enough with the court jester. All right, she needs that knight in shining armor.
Court jester. I got the gnome riding the turtle backwards. That's what I got. That's all I'm going to say about that. So you can't be worse off than me. I'm kidding. But it's entertaining. Deborah Lee is doing her 24-card layout just for you, and she is ready to give you her magic.
Good.
Well, boy, that is quite a build-up there. I almost don't know what to say. Yes, on both fronts, I do feel there are solutions, but first of all, I think that it would help if you had a better frame of mind. Peggy, I think that sometimes you're like me, and you are expecting the gloom and the doom so you can be prepared for it when really we need to walk on the sunny side of the street. Start with simple gratitude that we got up today, that we're still here in our lives to make things better, that we still have our families, we have our pets. I mean, you can take this down to the fact that, you have coffee to drink in the morning if you need to. Because I feel that for you, this is where simplicity in terms of happiness will begin. Try to remember that money is only a means to an end. And that can
That's
only
true.
take so much out of you. We know what debt is, all of us here. We know what it feels like to, not have enough to pay our bills and to have struggle and worry. But I do feel that if your state of mind improves, your situation is going to improve. Now, I have Dawn who's been doing distance Reiki on you. And Dawn, what are you feeling?
She's actually seems pretty calm. I'm not feeling horrible upset. I'm feeling some, but she seems pretty calm, and she seems like a wonderful, wonderful person. Like I can just feel it. Like I'll feel her feelings, and I can feel her.
And I feel from her cards that her time, that she is so due for like a beautiful rainbow over her life. Peggy, it's coming. Don't lose faith. This is where it's crucial now to hold on to your hope. Hope is everything. And for you, yes, I do feel there's another man coming into your life. He is going to be the one to be with you for the rest of your life. Also, as far as the financial, I do feel that there is going to be an answer. Now, I can't put my finger quite on it, but I feel her getting a phone call or a letter that's going to alleviate a lot of the stress. Maybe she'll find out that she has been named in someone's will. This often happens out of the blue, because it does appear as if it's coming in the form of a gift. It could be property that you've been deeded. A lot of times after people pass away, they don't find all the assets till way later. My grandmother hid all kinds of money in the hems of her curtains. And it wasn't until the house sold and the new people didn't want her curtains that we started gathering the curtains, and there was thousands of dollars in the hems of her curtains. So I think I've mentioned before, my father had a great big pressure cooker that he kept up in the ceiling over his bed, like like what do you call this? Yes, and it was loaded with cash, loaded. Wow. So don't lose your hope and faith. This is when we are the most tested, is right before a big breakthrough. Now, I'll bet Lisa, the therapist, has a few tips for you too.
Actually, Deborah, you're right on the money with the whole idea of the therapeutic term is called reframing, and it's just changing your mind and your thoughts to change your outcome. And it's through little teeny tiny expressions of gratitude throughout your day, throughout your morning, throughout your afternoon, that will help bring that inner peace and inner joy to you. And it is something as simple as, oh, look, the sun is shining today, and that makes me feel warm and tingly and happy. I'm grateful that my coffee is hot. I don't care what it is, but it's the expression through those little teeny tiny bits of gratitude that will actually bring joy into your life. And, my biggest thing is always energy follows thoughts. Just like Deborah said, when the thought goes out of, you do want to sometimes prepare for the worst, but often we can create the worst with our own thought patterns.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. We can draw it to us. It's as if we're saying to the universe, you know what, I love being miserable. Give me more. So the universe will conspire with you on whatever it is that you are desiring.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
and definitely
I have plenty of faith. So.
She said, well, you should. That's awesome. And the universe knows no resistance. So try not to use any negative terms when you're thinking about what you want. So I wish I wasn't in debt. Don't use the word debt. Say I would like to be, financially free. Like to be able to pay all my bills. So any kind of positive ways you can term it in your head when you're praying, that's the best way to do it.
And remember, Peggy, God wouldn't bring you this far and leave you.
Right.
So I do feel that before we have a huge breakthrough of abundance, this is when we are the most tested. Yes. So Just one day at a time, right, girls?
One day at a time.
Yeah, and sometimes Daryl says 1 hour at a time. Just worry about today.
Okay.
So
Don't worry about
I can
tomorrow
handle
when
it.
it gets here.
And it'll never get here.
Because you're still focusing on today.
Yep.
So Peggy, we really see that you have a brand new life coming to you. It's just a matter of time. Give yourself into, I'd say, the first 3 months of the new year. I think you're going to have a whole different picture you're looking at for your life.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, we're so glad you called us. So
and
thank
I love you gals.
Oh, we love you too. Thank you.
If you're ever in Oklahoma, just give me a buzz.
Oh, well, you know that's going to happen. Just get a little bottle of mimosa whipped up. We're right there.
Southern meal.
Oh, we'd love that.
I enjoy cooking, so I will be glad to fix you a big old meal.
We are there.
Even
Oh, my
better.
goodness. Yes.
Feed me. Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peggy. That would be great. We'll take the show on the road.
Yes. All right. Look what you've
Thank
done.
you.
Field trip.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Peggy.
Bye-bye. Oh, my gosh. That would be fun.
Great. One of them great big campers.
Yes.
Those
everybody
RVs,
back,
the ones you drive, and we can be in the back drinking and playing games. And, and we'll go visit all of our radio friends.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
You are listening to Kcaa Radio live with the Psychic Love Doctor Show, 909-792-5222. We're only here to the top of the hour, so if you would like to get your very own personal prophecy reading from Deborah Lee, the only subject matter expert in this method, you must call in before she says, see you later, we're gone for the night. So 909-792-5222.
And while we're in a bit of a lull here, please remember, everybody, to pick up the Psychic Love Doctor app. It's available free of charge for smartphones in the
Google Play Store and your iPhone App Store.
There you go. You can give yourself readings. Now, Daryl would often say it won't always give you rainbows and unicorns.
Sometimes it's mud and dirt.
But at least you know what you're dealing with and what you need to improve a situation. I like using it before I go into, say, a business meeting. I like to find out what is their focus. And if I know their focus, then I know how to lean my presentation. I know what they're after, what they want to hear. So if they are just idea people, then I come with the ideas. If they're dollars and cents people, then we're going to talk money. Also in relationships, well, it can tell you if that blind date you're going to go on is going to turn out to be fruitful
or fruitless.
Fruit.
That's my favorite type of reading. Absolutely. That metaphysical insight or psychic spying that we so like to do.
Oh, yeah. It'll tell you a lot that you really can't put to great use about anybody. You know, we have a lot of friends often, but so many of them are disingenuous and they have secret agendas. And, you know, it's good to find out who you can really trust.
Now, I would like to bring up an interesting point. You'd mentioned something earlier about how this method is so effective because it can tell you where you are now on your path and where you're going to go and how we have that free will to change it. So if someone were to call you and say, oh, you know, I'm in this job and I'm just absolutely miserable, and you can say, yes, this is the cards are saying this is where you're going to be. But people often forget that free will component to our lives.
You know, that's so true, and I'm glad you brought that up. What the cards are essentially sharing with us is our true potential for any given thing. If our main goal is happiness, the cards are they're going to just blow themselves wide open because happiness is attainable within the framework of our lives. If it's job satisfaction, often when it's time for us to move on, we will systematically deteriorate in terms of satisfaction in our work. Sometimes people hang in there until they get pink slipped, but you can take charge of your own circumstances. If the cards are saying, oh, they're going to be downsizing, oh, you know, a lot of jobs are going to be in jeopardy, this is when you can say, you know what, I'm going to command my own future and I'm going to start looking right now. And by Golly, I can't tell you how many times people have come back to me after a reading and said, wow, that was really a good move on my part. I've got a better job. I'm making more money. I'm moving in a better network of people. But it'll often come through very negative circumstances because you've outgrown the situation you're in. So now it's time to move on. This can happen in marriages or long-term relationships. I have often said this, that what I've seen in the cards is that relationships are either thriving or they're dying. There's no middle spot where they just sit there. Think of your relationship like a plant, a really beautiful plant that you went and bought, and you're going to take it home. Now, you're going to tend that plant. You're going to make sure it gets enough sunlight and you water it. You're not just going to stick it off in the corner and say, well, you take care of yourself now, and I'll just look at you and look at how pretty you are, because that thing's going to just fall right over. You know, we have to tend our relationships too. So I really feel that there's a lot of benefit from getting readings like this. People fear the unknown. You know what, though? Isn't it better to have that knowledge so you can use it with mastery towards your own abundantly rich future? I'm living my dream, and I am not that special. All of you. I just want to make the point that any of you can have your dream too. It's closer than you think.
And I would like to point out that when you are giving readings to people involving another person, that remember that other person is also exercising his or her free will,
Right.
and that relationships are co-created. So when we're looking at a dynamic between two people, or where's this relationship going, you can give the reading of the energy of the now and then the moment.
You're right.
But the frequent updates to reading, we always say, call back, let us know how things are going, because you know what, the other person is going through the exact same process and the exact same amount of free will and change. So the cards will follow that and let you know.
We are
But
all
remember
on,
that.
right, we're all on our own individual paths. Just because you're in love with somebody or you're committed to someone does not mean that they are in the same place that you are all the time. A lot of times there's those of us who are deep sea divers and we're down deep in the ocean, you know, checking out the sea life. And then there's others up here in this like creaky little rowboat going brrr, just right on the surface. And there's not much room for a parallel there. You know, if you know what I mean. All right, ladies, quit now. Quit. We got 2 minutes. Let's hold it together. Hold it
Sorry, you got
together.
me on the going down deep in the rowboat. That's where my mind went.
Well, by golly, the show is ending. And we just love all you folks so much.
Yes,
Whether
we
it's
do.
3 of you who call in or we get 30 calls, it's all good to us, isn't it?
It is so good.
And we hope that you enjoy sharing a little bit of your Friday evenings with us too. So don't hesitate to get in touch if you want to submit a question that we'll address next week. You can shoot it right through from Facebook, that page that we have our show on. It is the Psychic Love Doctor Show. Or you can just shoot me a message on Facebook through Deborah Lee. Or you can email me. Isn't that wonderful, all the options we have?
Technology.
And, you know, if somebody says, well, I didn't know how to get a hold of you, that to me is not a resourceful person.
Email address
Is Deborah, DEBORAH, at psychiclovedoctor.com. I sure want to thank Dawn. She's going to be sitting in a lot with us in the future. She'll be teaching us
It was
more
fun.
about Reiki and sharing it with you. And of course, Lisa is the best sidekick in the world. She's a psychic love doctor too. So if you want to sometime call in and say you want your reading from Lisa, and we'll put her on the spot.
Gotta tell all my secrets.
And then, of course, there's Darling Daryl behind the camera, and he represents all of mankind. Of course, tonight he had backup with a very handsome young fellow in the
To be
audience.
20 years younger, tell you what.
So thank you, everybody, and I guess we're out of here, and we'll see you next Friday.
I'm Tom Busby, CNBC. It hasn't happened in years since the Great Recession back in 2010, but the economy actually lost jobs last month, 33,000 jobs. That's because Hurricanes Harvey and Irma forced thousands of businesses to shut their doors in Texas and Florida as millions of people evacuated. But average wages were a little